Hey guys, it's Ryan again. Welcome back to my channel. So I wasn't even gonna film this video, but this morning I woke up feeling super inspired and super generous and wanted to give back to this amazing, nice community. And I wanted to film a little video for you guys, so here you go. If you're wondering why I look like absolute shit, it's because I stayed up all night last night till like 2 a.m. with my friend Dexter playing Fortnite because season 6 comes out today and I had a lot to finish on season 5, but none of that means anything to you guys because you're all educated people who have lives unlike me and don't care. Anyway, today's video is super boring and super basic. But I'm doing it anyways. It is a 5 tips tutorial for beginning photographers. You know what? I'm not even gonna say beginning photographers because I feel like this could apply to any photographer. So this is the 5 tips for any photographers out there who think that I'm super cool. Anyways, number 1. Buy a camera. Just kidding. Actually though, that could be a good one. I'm also totally winging this, so cut that out. I will say this. A lot of people think that you need to buy the most expensive camera and drop tons of cash and get all this really nice, expensive, fancy gear. But in reality, you really don't need all that stuff. Some of my best photos, I think, some of my favorite work that I've taken has been on like $5 disposable cameras. So you do not need to spend so much money on gear. So stop doing it because it's not going to instantly make your work better. Like if you have the money and want to upgrade on cameras and stuff, I get it, do it, go ahead. Not all of us can afford your lifestyle. But if you buy nice, expensive, fancy gear thinking that it's gonna magically make your work so much better, I'm here to tell you that it's not. Stick with what you have, stick with your $500 camera and make it work. Learn how to use it, learn how to use it best, and you will do wonders, children. Tip number 2. I actually think this is one of the most helpful tips as a photographer, and it's this, let me tell you. Try to shoot every single day. Push yourself to be more creative, push yourself to get out there and think of new creative ideas. Even if it's taking a picture of your cat or your dog or food or something that you don't have to work with, just shoot anything. Obviously it helps to shoot with people if that's like your thing. I know people like to shoot landscapes, people like to shoot their pet, people like to shoot food. I like to shoot food because I like to eat food. But try to shoot every single day. It will make your work better. It will push you to be more creative. A lot of people do the 365-day challenge where they try to post a photo every day. But not even speaking posting, try to take one picture every day. There's a lot of times where I'm not feeling creatively inspired and the last thing that I want to do is take a picture. But whenever I started out, pushing myself to do it every single day changed the game because it was always forcing me to be more creative, always forcing me to think of new ideas, more creative ways to shoot and use my camera. So that's number 2, try to shoot every day, if not every other day, honestly, because we got time for that. Tip number 3. Like I said, I'm totally winging this. I have no idea what tip number 3 is, to be honest with you. Tip number 3. Find a photographer or videographer that you think is really cool and you like their work and study it. Look at what they do, pull up their Instagram, pull up photos that they've taken and study what they do. Study their editing style, study what time of day they shoot, where they shoot, who they shoot with, study everything about their photos. Don't copy them, study it and then apply it to your work. For example, whenever I was starting out, I really looked up to Andrew Kern, Samuel Elkins, Joel Friend, and Joe Greer. And what I would do is I would look at their photos every day for, I just burped, I'm not okay, honestly, hours. And I would see what they did. I would see how they would edit. I would see what colors they would use. And then I would try to apply the same things to my work. Not copying them, not taking the same exact photo, but using similar concepts and similar ideas for my work. It helps to shape your work. It helps to make you better so that you can see what does well and what other people are doing. A lot of people do this. A lot of people use Pinterest. I use Pinterest all the time. It's a great way to curate things in mood board for different shoots. If you don't know what mood boarding is, it's basically using Pinterest to come up with a bunch of ideas and put them in one place so you can have a vision for what you want to do. So tip number 3, find like 4 or 5 photographers or videographers, or even if you're not a photographer, find something that, if you're a dancer, find dancers that you like. Like everyone does this. It's not a new concept. And study their work and see what they do to make yourself better. Tip number 4 is this. Like I said, winging this, so coming up with it in my head right now. Also, I just got this new camera. Well, it's not my new camera, but it's my friend Emmy's camera, and she's letting me borrow it. And it's awesome because I have this little flip screen here so I can see myself whenever I vlog now. So I'm not just holding around this big old dinosaur camera wondering what's going on. But the only thing is the monitor thing is up here, and I'm always looking at that because I'm super obsessed with myself and I want to like see what I look like. But I need to look at you guys, so sorry about that. Anyways, that was a weird rant. Don't know where that came from. Tip number 4. God, I am not okay. Tip number 4, do not pay attention to likes or comments or followers or any of that shit on social media because it will ruin you. It will end your career. Whenever I was starting out, I can't tell you how bad I was comparing myself to other people. And I feel like this is a good follow-up to my last tip, which was find other photographers who really inspire you. Do not compare yourself to them. Look up to them, but don't compare yourself to them and think that they're better than you or that you'll never be at their level. Because 2 years ago, let me tell you something. I was in Indiana. Most boring state ever. I'm sorry if you guys live in Indiana. I truly am. I hope that someday you can make it out of Indiana. But it was the most boring state ever. And I was looking up to these other photographers who lived in California and New York and these really cool cities. And I was like, wow, I'll never be able to be at their level because they are so cool and I suck. So don't have that mentality. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just look up to them and let it fuel you, let it drive you to be better. But the moment that you start comparing yourself and saying that you're not good enough, saying that they're better than you, you get so suffocated. I can't speak, I'm illiterate. And it will actually ruin you. It'll get to your head, it'll ruin your creative drive, and you will die. So don't do that. Tip number 5. Be super cool and move to California. No, just kidding. Tip number 5 is this. Here's a good one. It's more of a technical tip that I tend to do a lot. Whenever you're shooting, don't always just look through the viewfinder. Say that I was taking a picture of you guys. Usually, whenever I shoot, I usually just look through the viewfinder and try to find the right angle for the photo. But there's a much better way to do this. Whenever you're shooting, if you just put the camera down for a second, look at your subject without the camera in front of your eye, it helps to better get a view of what you're shooting. So if a person is right here and I'm taking a photo of them, I don't want to just have my eye up to the camera. I'm gonna look at them and find where the best light is and see where the light's hitting them. I'll have them turn a certain way if the light's hitting them better. But there's just certain things that you can't necessarily see if you're just looking through the camera. So yes, it's more of a technical tip. It's I would even say it's more maybe even an again, I can't speak, I'm illiterate. I can't even say illiterate. It's more of an advanced tip, but I would suggest that you put your camera down while you're shooting and look at the subject instead of just looking through the viewfinder. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that it helped you a little bit, hopefully. I want to start doing more teaching videos like this, so if you did like it, please leave a like. Smash a little thumbs up for me, leave a comment, tell me what you thought of it. And yeah, I love you guys.